All right, everyone, let me remind you, the market's closed tomorrow, January 9th, and then we'll be back at it Friday morning, January 10th. Today was pretty dead. It felt like there wasn't a big group of people trading. Still some decent calls. I'll talk about one real quick, MPET by Miguel. Let me try that again, TPET. Man, that was a blast from the past, MPET. Anyway, TPET was on the gap list. And then you go to 5-minute candles. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. You can kind of see there's the opening high, and then it put in a lower high right here at 201, and we kind of did this little sort of a loose version of a cup and handle. And Miguel's idea was back through 2 right there. And look at that. I mean, as a day trader, that's what you want. You want immediate feedback, quick move to 261. If you're not scaling out into that, you're doing it wrong. But that was a really nice heads up. And Fubo was a slow mover, but I made decent money. I traded Fubo twice today. Made decent money in the opening range breakout idea. I'll zoom in. This was the early high over the mic. I said opening range breakout might get them coming in because it's a recent high flyer and it gapped down today. So you might have some shorts piling in down here. And so my idea was 497 as it broke the highs right there. Chopped around for a bit before it got going, but never came close to stopping out. And from 497 went all the way to 610. That's a great percentage move. And we'll look at the daily real quick. That is on the watch list for tomorrow. Even though you got this big gap and it's extended, it's been a pretty good trader for me the past few days. Anyway, there's a couple highlights from today. Let me go right into what we're watching for tomorrow. Okay, this one looks good because it's a tiny float. Had news yesterday. Big volume spike. Worth noting, though, that this barely broke 1 million shares. But it looks like something that could follow through. Closed at 810. Now here's the caveat. In after hours, it's trading at 620, so it probably won't be in play. But I thought I'd mention it because of the daily chart. TPET, already mentioned this one. We had the gap up, closed about where it opened, but gave a nice trade today, so we put it back on watch because we're day traders. NITO, crazy 2-day move, then 2 days down, and then look at the range today. I'll give you the numbers. The low was 116 and the high was 270. So that's a huge range. Closing way off its highs, but it is an in-play stock, so we watch it, right? HOTH also has huge range. They came out this afternoon and mentioned that there's no plans for any kind of offering, and that's what started this. Some folks in chat were already mentioning the volume when it was down here, so I know some of you got in a Tokyo entry and rode that up. It ended up closing off of its highs, but absolutely worth watching because it has good range and it's been in the news the last couple of days. Not like I look at that daily chart and think, man, that's pretty though, right? Fubo, already mentioned this one, goes back on watch. DBVT, as I'm talking, there's a daily, but as I'm talking to you in after hours, it's trading at 452. So if it's still gapping in the morning, it goes on the gap playlist. It went all the way to 570 on news and after hours. ONDS, bunch of bounce plays now. You ready? ONDS is one of them. 4 days in a row down. RR, the robot plays. This is one of my favorites just because it had such a big move. And now you got 3 days lower. I like that for a potential bounce play. You guys know in chat how we play the bounce plays. And if that one bounces, we'll look at the other ones. KITT had a huge move and now it's pulled back to the 8-day on lower volume. Another robot play. Serve, also really strong stock lately. Couple days lower there. Okay, Rivian, electric car maker, RIVN. Kind of a round trip here, but still, you had the big rip on big volume. 3 days lower. Maybe it finds support at the 20-day, so maybe it bounces tomorrow. Goes on bounce watch. OKLO, a couple of the baby nukes go back on watch. You kind of had a long flag on the daily, right? And so it broke out right about here. And now it's kind of returning to test. I don't have it, but if you can picture the trend line across these, it's coming down to test the breakout spot. So that one goes on bounce watch. I'm also going to do NNE, which tends to run with it and looks pretty similar. And then LUNR has been in play. Now you got 3 days lower, back down to support. So that goes on bounce watch. And then if Bitcoin can catch a bounce, BTDR, straight down 3 days to support. Pretty good bounce play setup as well. Have a great day off, and I'll see y'all in chat on Friday morning.